Hey, everybody, welcome to the Tech-Mex Podcast. We're your hosts, Eric Mando. This is episode Ochenta y Uno, number 81. We're bringing you the top stories in Bitcoin, tech, wealth, so you can send your girlfriends back to Venus. Dale. Dale.
Oh, boy.
That one's going to get us in trouble.
I guess. The good thing is that I don't have a girlfriend. I have a wife.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Send the wives back to Venus.
No. Dude, this week, the space, right? So it's like everything was happening from the space. Did you notice the thing that it went on? Like, it went viral.
Yeah.
Basically, Jeff Bezos sent his girlfriend to the space. They came back, and suddenly there was a bunch of pictures on the internet, and somebody actually put a couple pictures of Katy Perry. She was one of those. There were five ladies. Thank you for putting that. So there were five women there.
That's six of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, sorry, 6. And then basically, Katy Perry, even when she came back, she was kissing the floor, and all of that. But anyways, Wendy's, the company that actually sells burgers, was trolling Katy Perry. It's like, can you send her back? That's the one that I was telling you. She came and just kissed the floor.
What is Wendy's doing here? Can we send her back, man?
Dude, I didn't know that they have a beef, with Katy Perry, but I feel that it's like good move on Wendy's. It just went viral. Some people's like, I'm going to Wendy's tonight.
They tried to fix it. Because when I went to go look at the Twitter from Wendy's, I don't see this one. Can we send her back? In plan, I guess sending her back to space, right? And I only see this one. I kissed the ground and I liked it. So they tried to fix it, but the damage, I wouldn't. I think they achieved it, right? The viral piece of it.
Yes, I don't know, man. It's like one of those things. The whole thing is like it's almost like an Austin Powers type of a movie. You have the billionaire creating a rocket that looks like a phallus.
Make it pointier. No, that's the other billionaire.
and sending 6 females on the rock and riding the rocket, right? It's like, what the heck?
Right. Well, so that's an interesting part, actually. So I wondered, it's 6 women up there, and they're all I don't know about all of them, but I do know some of them, right? Several of them are very notable, right? Katy Perry, obviously, and I think which other girlfriend was on there? Oprah's girlfriend was on there, or something like that. and then obviously Bezos's.
Yeah, I don't know all of them. They're obviously the girlfriend, right?
Yeah, Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, Gayle King, and then Carrie Ann Flynn, Aisha Bowe, and Amanda Wynn. The last 3 I'm not too familiar with, but anyways, I think it was pretty interesting. I think one of the headlines is like women in STEM, which, everyone can get behind it. I think that's really good. My wife's in STEM. I think your wife was also in STEM as she did her studies and also worked in, I think, biology, right? So I think it's a very, very cool message. I think it's very nice to actually see this. It's kind of cool. It's kind of weird that, you see this phallic looking rocket behind them, but it is what it is. Bezos had a vision.
Had a vision, I guess.
Oh man. Well, okay. So a lot of people maybe not familiar with the whole story. We did see that the flight lasted just about 11 minutes. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they didn't like go out into space or something like that. This was one of those tourism flights. Okay. So it's kind of very short, but I will tell you what, they still had the chance to experience weightlessness. Okay. They experienced weightlessness for about 3 minutes. Still very cool. I mean, that's something that I wouldn't mind doing. I don't know if I want to be one of the first people to try this, but obviously Bezos felt comfortable enough to send Lauren up there. Katy Perry felt comfortable enough to go up there. And Gayle King also did too. So I think this is pretty cool, pretty interesting. Would you get up there?
I will wait a little bit more, So, because also in the news, though, there is also some conspiracy theory on all of these.
Hmm.
But why? Because they saw a couple pictures that they have a mannequin hand visible in some of the photos, and
Ah.
some skeptics are saying that this is just fake. It's faker than the moon landing.
It's more fake than the moon landing. Let's see if I can find this picture of this supposed
Yeah,
hand.
and the money while you're finding it, they identify the man. I don't know how they are able to identify the mannequin
Oh, it
as
does look like it.
the mannequin Skywalker. That it was basically on a test fly from 2017. So, and obviously you have all of these conspiracy theories, right? Like tinfoil people. There you go.
That does look. I mean, yeah, that's obviously
Do
that's
you
very
think?
shiny hand
Do you
one.
think that is Katy Perry's hand?
Maybe that's a bracelet or something. I don't know. With a little fireworks logo on the hand.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, there's a lot. What skin lotion kind of makes your hand look like that.
Well, again, going into the conspiracy theories, though,
Yeah.
they also are saying that in theory, Jeff Bezos has to come and open it with a tool, the door, because they're all also very sealed, the capsules.
Hmm.
And this one, they open it from inside. So that was the other thing that was kind of weird. So I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe my thinking is that probably went into space, came back, they did all of that because maybe it takes whatever, and then it's like, okay, we put some people here, and maybe they put the freaking mannequin. I don't know. That was weird. It was
Mm.
odd.
Okay, so yeah, it could be a publicity stunt. You're right, because I mean, those are a lot of really famous people that would. There haven't been. Is this a first? This is not the first flight, but
No, no, no.
there haven't been that many.
Yeah.
I, I'd imagine. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it is a publicity stunt. I'm assuming that's what these people are thinking. It's because I don't know. And even the whole thing with Katy Perry coming and kissing the ground, not kissing on the ground, but kissing the ground. It does seem a bit manufactured, right?
Yes. And it's one of those things that is kind of hard to know what is truly what happened, right? But yeah, now
Uh-huh.
with social media and all of the cameras around, they have to be super careful for this type of things. So
Definitely, and hence, I guess the whole sender back. Wendy's maybe smelled something fishy going on. Isn't Wendy's known for their fish sandwich or something like that?
I
That's
don't
what I
know,
hear.
man. I don't like fast food though. It's just
Yeah.
because I don't eat it often. I every time that I eat like fast food, I just taste the oil, and it's like gross to me.
Yeah, the oils are pretty bad there. So, but yeah, I mean, they called it out. They said send her back. They realized maybe that's maybe something they shouldn't have done, and they erased it, and she kissed the ground as she liked it instead. Um, anyways, fun story. You guys make the decision. Let us know. Leave a comment. Do y'all think it's real or do y'all think it was faked? This is the new moon landing faking. We'll see if it's real or not. Speaking of fraud, we saw something interesting, something new here with having to do with AI and fraud. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I spot the news as well. This company called Nate AI, Nate
Mm-hmm.
Inc., which basically the website was, if you can go to the website, actually it's a nice website, nice looking website. It's called Nate dot tech.
Oh, Nate.tech.
Uh-huh. So it's a yeah, share and shop your world in one app. So they had a mobile app and scroll up. I don't know why it's showing. Scroll up a little bit more to the top. Oh, interesting. And in mine, it actually comes up with a video. Anyways,
Oh, okay.
this company, the CEO was charged with fraud because he was faking this. He was saying that the AI was actually doing the shopping for you, and basically they are charging this guy, right, with the government. So he was the Nate. Yeah, basically they were claiming that it was fully automated, and they raised 40 million from investors, and obviously it was
40 million.
yep, and it was obviously misinterpretation, right? So
Yeah.
this guy, they're having legal charges. The SEC obviously and the FBI, they are conducting a bunch of investigations in the case.
I mean, I mean, aren't people told like fake it till you make it? Like, what happened with that? Is that not the case anymore?
I feel that there is a spot, and I think that that's where entrepreneurs, specifically tech entrepreneurs, they have to be careful. Where maybe fake it till you make it. However, without being deceiving, and you are being deceiving because you are faking it, but if it's achievable, because I feel that maybe in some point you're doing demos because we see it people like Elon, right? Like doing, hey, this is the Cybertruck, and it's basically maybe underneath there's like the batteries are not there yet, or maybe something is not fully working, but it's in a prototype that is, and you
Yeah.
can go both sides. Maybe is that misleading, right? Because you don't have the product finalized. But I feel that maybe if you tell the investors and the audience, hey, it's not final. There are things that we have to full transparency, right? But with your reputation and your background, you can see, okay, you can make it happen, right? Fake it till you make it. That portion, you might be able to make it happen.
That's true. Well, I think that there's a couple keys here, right? That is making this so that, this person, if convicted, could end up in jail for 20 years. They took a lot of money, right? It was $40 million from these backers or whatever. So I think if this person was not transparent in that way, but he still took all that $40 million, that's probably going to be one of the key issues, right? And I know in our own projects, we've talked about that. We've at least got to have like some type of prototype or something working, things like that, in order to, whenever we're involving money, because the SEC does look at stuff like that, right? We can't just have complete vaporware and say we've got it already done and then ask for money. So lots of things, lots of very, very interesting things out there with fraud and AI. But what, like we said previously, there's been a lot of AI washing. A lot of companies are out there just trying to say, hey, we're doing AI here, we're doing AI that, and just doing that. But then sometimes they're just completely making something up that's not really there.
Yeah.
Previously, we said Amazon did something similar, right?
I'm surprised that how these they're trying to make a case with these founders, but some big companies they do the same and they don't get punished as these guys, right? So Amazon, we actually put it on the pod that in some point they were doing something similar, maybe doing some AI, and in this case probably not sure if they were raising money, but it's a public company too, right? So why? That's the kind of question. Why some of these large companies they can get away with this type of things, right? In this case, obviously, this guy did something wrong. He was misleading the investors that the technology was already doing it, when in fact they were just humans behind the scenes doing the purchases.
Yeah, just like I think Amazon was it. It was with those stores where you can just kind of
Amazon
walk in,
Go store.
grab your bag of chips, and then just walk out, and it would automatically pay. Well, I think they fessed up. I think maybe that's another key. They actually said, "Hey, by the way, this is not fully AI automated. We've got someone actually watching video and charging your account. So it's not like just all done by computer vision. There is someone in a data center back some other country that's doing it, right?"
I feel that maybe for the Tesla taxis, that's probably what is going to happen. It's going to be maybe a hybrid. Not sure what percentage, but I feel that maybe they might intervene some other place, like almost playing a video game and moving the taxi around, right? So because, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I mentioned it last week on Waymo, right? The experience. So I feel in other places you might not be able to drive around, but we'll see how that develops.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, in similar news, I mean, did we speaking of AI, and we did see ChatGPT uses a lot of money here, just processing all of the pleases and thank yous that users are using. They say they spend tens of millions of dollars on this.
I mean, it's all of the energy consumption and all of the different processing power. When somebody says thank you, the machine has to understand that, right? So,
Yeah.
or please. So, and it's part of our language when we're speaking, just to be cordial and whatever. And it's kind of hard for like, this is a machine. Who cares, right? Just do it now.
Some of us are a little bit more polite to our machines here.
So that processing is a lot of money, believe it or not. This tweet, it was saying that it consumes almost 700,000 daily to operate in order to just process those keywords. But guess what? Some madman says it was worth it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We don't know what the future holds. So saying please and thank you, it could be worth it. I mean, you really never know. So you want to be nice to your machines. I think we've kind of established that
humans,
already.
Ramirez.
Those robots are going to have access to the internet too. They're going to be able to see all the history. They're going to be able to see Tech-Mex Pod. Oh, Ramirez was very nice to the machines. Mando, on the other hand,
they were built to serve.
Well, you might change your tune after seeing this guy. Okay, so this one I gotta admit, yes, it's kind of.
Oh man, that's a nightmare there.
It's kind of spooky here.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find the actual video here. All right. This is some creepy music.
Dude, this is like hilarious that these guys chose that spooky music. Right? Imagine like you are like in your house and suddenly clack clack, you're freaking robot. What do you want, Ramirez?
Mando, would you like a drink? It's like, oh god.
No man, GTA 4. You know? So this company is called Protoclone.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, this is not like this is for real. They are trying to do they unveil this muscular skeleton android, and again it's called Protoclone, and it just it features movements like with muscles. You know, the humans, we have this ability to be able to spot weirdness on certain things, and we discard it. Faces, when maybe the eyes are too separate, it's just we spot it very quickly. It's like, oh, there's something odd. And obviously for these movements, it's something odd as well because of the contraction of these mechanical muscles. That all of these companies, tech companies, they have to pay attention to that, because if not, it looks freaky. And would you have that in your house?
I mean, I don't know. That one looks kind of scary. I will say that. I prefer the other one from the, what's that other movie that I was watching?
Unit 3. Wow. I mean, you're referring to the Megan Fox one.
I mean, if I have a choice, but it's because of these synthetic muscle clones. I don't know what we called them there. That's why I'm saying please and thank you.
Subservience
that
was
thing.
That
thing was subservience. That's right. This thing is very muscular. I mean, what's with the muscle? I don't know, man. That's a bit intimidating. God.
Yeah, okay. All right. I see your taste.
Okay. Yes. So please and thank you. All right. Yeah, it's not costing me tens of millions. It's costing Sam Altman tens of millions.
Well, some of the tech specs here, it's anatomically accurate. It has 200 degrees of freedom. It has 1,000 myofibers with 500 sensors. So we are mocking a little bit this robot, but there is a lot of tech behind it, right? I feel that the only part that is tricky is that to make sure that it's more smoother, because right now the robots, all of them, they have servos, which basically, for the audience that don't know, servos are motors that it allows us to to have precision on the amount of movement and the rotation on that. They can control very well that, because again, motors is just always rotating. With servos, you have the ability to direct it. So the typical robot, that's the reason why you have like the movement like a robot because of that. And I feel that maybe the technology that they're trying to develop is like how you can make it more smooth, right? Because even Optimus or Unitree from China, uh, you just can see that there's still that robot movement. It's getting better and better. Uh, but again, I think that maybe it's just they are trying to investigate different approaches. Like in our case, it's more muscles, right? Contractions. And I feel that this type of companies are trying to do that.
Yeah, it is. Nonetheless, it is very impressive technology. I did just see on the website though that if you stab it with a knife, it says it'll bleed out. Not that I'm gonna do that, by the way. Future protoclones,
It's like
I would
Ramirez
never do
stabbing
that.
his robot.
I would never do that. It's more of a FYI.
And like the public reaction, right? It's like right now with memes and things, right? The social media basically said excitement and fear. So I will.
They're just so tight together, right?
It's like this one is. I'm excited, but it's like it's a nightmare.
Yeah. It does remind me a little bit of the Westworld, from HBO, the TV show, how the robots, I mean, that was like the premise of that show, is that there's these robots that are just very, very lifelike. And of course, they have some that look more like Megan Fox on there, which is not a bad thing. That actually show off. And I could see this type of robotic technology, I guess, being a little bit more like that instead of the Unitree one that knows how to do kung fu. Though it does look like those are still pretty fluid movements. I mean, you've got to have some fluidity to be able to do the flips and the side bends and all this stuff and doing kung fu and stuff like that. So maybe it'll culminate in some kind of mix of technologies between the servos and the motors and this muscle tech that we're seeing here.
Yes. All right. These couple of weeks have been packed with robotics and space. This is like, man, we're living the future, right? So the next one, I'm very impressed with Kawasaki. Did you were able to see the video of what Kawasaki? I actually thought that was AI generated in one point and actually started investigating. But I think that they play this one. Look at this kid.
You mean this one? That's very robotic.
I'm telling you, because I think that the company Kawasaki spot this kid riding an African pig.
Well, the kid has probably run away from the proto clone robot. That's what I'm thinking. It's like
now show the other one from Kawasaki, and you'll see, the audience will see what I'm talking about. So now look at this. Kawasaki is building almost like a horse to be able to ride it. So, and if you scroll down, there is also a couple videos. Yeah, if you notice, make it bigger if you can.
Click here for more.
Fucking them advertising. Right. All right, so this is an interesting approach that Kawasaki was saying. You know what? Let's build a device that is more like a horse that can walk in different terrains and is like a very shock absorbent. And it's a very interesting way, right? And I think that they did a good job on the prototype. So, would you get one?
Oh hell yeah! I mean that's pretty cool.
That's
I mean,
scary.
okay, I used to have a motorcycle, right? I used to have a Suzuki. Did not end well, by the way. I've got a bone that's kind of healed like this, but yeah, this seems a lot more like stable.
It does. I feel that I can see some use even for recreational too, right? So it's very interesting to me how you start seeing this merge between kind of robotics and technology, right? So and it's happening. I'm excited.
By the way, they call this thing Corleo, right? So they've already named it. And the cool thing is they actually showed this at an expo, so they already actually exposed this to people. They showed it at the 2025 Osaka Kansai Expo. So it would be nice if they did a tour around here. We would be able to check it out. I know we've talked about maybe going to a conference or something like that, so we could kind of share with our audience some of the things that are up and coming. This seems like something very, very cool. You know, another thing very interesting about this Corleo robot horse, I think it's a hydrogen engine. It's not gas powered, or it's not battery powered, how you might think everything right now is being battery powered, but they're actually proposing a 150cc hydrogen engine. So it might throw farts at you just like a real horse. But it'll smell like roses, I'm sure. Wow.
What else do we have, though?
Would be nice, actually. You know, since right now things are looking up for Houston even more. Maybe we can start building these things in Houston. Recently, we did hear that NVIDIA says they're going to move some manufacturing to be done in Houston. So just like not too long ago, we said Apple's coming to Houston. NVIDIA is now also coming to Houston. So we're seeing several different companies now starting to consider Houston kind of more of a manufacturing hub. And like we said previously, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of educated workers here. The cost of living is lower. We have access to a port, so more raw materials should be easier to get. There's a good workforce for both the high, things that require kind of maybe more technical engineer capability, but then also we have people that might be able to just work on the line that maybe don't have that higher education, but we have good skilled workers. So a lot of different things that are positive here. And I think a lot of these bigger companies are starting to take note here with NVIDIA saying they're coming to Houston.
I'm still thinking why Houston, right? And to be honest, the only one that maybe was the kicker is probably the port. To be able to ship across. It's not, to be honest, it would be better Austin. Like more talent, a university close by, all of that. But I feel that the kicker to be able to make the decision between these two cities is probably, okay, you have, there's a lot of people, it's affordable, so that way you can pay a little bit less because it's going to be a factory. And then the port. So, kudos for Houston, right? It's able to attract more tech. Industrial, right? It's not like on the higher end, but it's still good. It's part of the tech industry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just keep in mind that we also have all of the refineries and plants here. So we have a lot of skilled workers that are used to working in these more industrial environments. I mean, and that's one of the biggest producers in the world here in Houston. So we've got to remember, I mean, Austin is just so small. I don't think it would be able to support all of those businesses that are needed, especially all of them that are coming. That's why Houston is. I think Austin is maybe more towards the software side, the software engineering side. We're talking about industrial needs, mechanical needs, different types of engineers, not the software engineers or computer engineers. These might be different kinds of engineers, more of your mechanical engineers and things like that.
Right now, with the new administration, that they want to bring factories into America again. I don't think that there's gonna be people though. I'm almost envisioning like a Tesla factory, like just robots across everything, and you have the percentage of humans versus machines. It will be 100 to 1, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of the future is going to be we're going to need to leverage and able to keep up with some of the manufacturing capabilities from the other side of the world, where they've got a lot more cheap labor. We need to leverage the technology here to be able to do that. But I think it's just a good mix, a good melting pot here of different types of industries, people, the skilled workers, access to the port. There's just a lot of positives for that. And I'm sure it'll ease some of the pressure off of Austin or some of the neighboring areas with their cost of living and things like that. Just because Houston has so much space, it's not really confined. I know Austin is still expanding and things like that, but I know I read recently that there's we've got this triangular area, right? The Houston, Dallas, I guess Austin or San Antonio metroplex area. There's also a new metroplex area that's also being considered now that includes down towards the valley, down like Brownsville and things like that. So it's like Houston to San Antonio to Brownsville. Austin is in both of those, right? So obviously the folks that are in Austin can maybe participate in both of those metroplexes, but maybe eventually, down the road, we'll see both of those two metroplexes combined into one megaplex. I mean, we do know that does happen. We see a lot of that in the Northeast and things like that. But eventually, maybe these two smaller metroplexes are going to combine into a megaplex, and all of these people will be working within these different technologies. There's just a lot of people here and a lot of educated workers.
For sure. Let's move on to Bitcoin, man. There's a couple of interesting news there. So what the heck with Gary? Gary Gensler.
Gary. Well, okay. I know Gary became like the villain.
Very likely likable person from the Bitcoiners.
Yeah, he was like the Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, right? He's like excellent, right? From the SEC, right? Here's the thing. I remember when he was back at MIT, right? I was doing some of his online courses when he was covering Bitcoin. It was a little bit earlier on in Bitcoin's life, and he was very pro Bitcoin. Like he was like, it seemed like he was a Bitcoin maxi at that point. But
somebody had some blackmail on that
guy. It must have, because when he was in the role at the SEC, it was like a complete 180. Like he was just like very, very anti-Bitcoin. All of the regulations, he was suing all of these crypto companies. It was just a very harsh stance on crypto in general. And obviously it affected Bitcoin like that. Well, now that the new administration fired Gensler, they didn't really fire him, but right, that's what the promise was. Say it again, I'm going to fire Gensler day one. He's out of here, and now he's back to being a Bitcoin maxi. Have you heard about this?
No, I just sent it to me. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Okay. Well, and so basically, he is saying yes. Bitcoin is probably, you can't really group all crypto together with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is special. It is different. In a lot of cases, we see technologies, the newer technology tends to be the better technology, right? It hasn't been the case with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, has been around already, 16 I got to do my math, 16 years or so. In terms of technology, that's not very long. But in terms of crypto technology in that realm, yes, it's a little bit older. But guess what? It hasn't been dethroned. I don't think it has plans to be dethroned. Newer technology is not necessarily better in these cases. So that's what we're seeing. And this is what Gensler is saying. It's saying he does see, he is likening it to gold, precious metals, right? There's certain precious metals that as humans, we have said these are the ones that are the most useful ones. So they've become kind of the store of value. He sees it's kind of the same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be one of the ones that's chosen that to be like, this is the one that is the best store of value. So he's shifting away from SEC Gensler into Maxi Gensler. So this is what we want to see. He's going back to his roots, back to being a Bitcoin proponent. Obviously, there was something shady going on where he couldn't reveal his true colors as an orange guy. But now he can be his true self here.
He's taking his orange pills again.
Hey, keep taking your vitamins,
that's
buddy.
Fine, that's fine. We need people in government to keep getting bullish.
Yeah,
we forgive you. Just show your wallet.
Yeah. So, I mean, he obviously is still going to have these connections with different people in government and things like that. So, yeah, if he's coming back around, being a proponent, sharing his ideas, he's obviously been in this industry for a very long time. He's going to understand it very, very deeply. So having these comments from him now, it really goes a long way to really show that someone that has been both private industry and in the government industry and the academic industry, and be able to really see it from all of these different viewpoints and come to this conclusion that yes, Bitcoin is likely to be the one. I mean, it just makes the case for Bitcoin a lot stronger there.
For sure. So talking about Bitcoin, have you traded lately? And there is actually some of our friends that we have a couple of channels. They have been saying that this, I guess, ETF, MISTY.
Mm,
So have you traded? And you pull it up, Fidelity. Let's
yeah.
actually also talk about that one because I can start seeing a lot of these companies, Fidelity and MSTY, right? So in this case, Fidelity, they are opening a program that is basically, hey, open a crypto IRA, and we are not going to charge you some fees. So what's your
I
take
think
there?
I think just like Gensler did, a lot of these companies are now coming around. Not that they had a different opinion before, but it's now that the regulatory frameworks, it's a lot more comfortable for these companies to be able to operate and to provide products for people. There's now enough volume as well for these companies to be able to provide these services. So this is kind of a natural progression. All of these folks, BlackRock's been doing it for a while. Fidelity has been in the game, but now they're offering these different crypto products where people are thinking more long term with crypto. It's not just a short term play; it's a long term play. Thinking about retirement and things like that. Understanding that crypto and Bitcoin are going to be growing over the long term, right? They will continue to grow, and so they're allowing people or encouraging people to put this as part of their retirement packages, and really encouraging them to take the long view for this, which I think it's a great point to do.
Yeah, is the I think that is also having part of the diversification that is not related to kind of stocks or anything. It's always good to have it in your portfolio. We have mentioned this before. Obviously, we're not financial advisors, uh, but it's a take a look on Fidelity. I think that they are doing good things. I have been trading lately more. And by the way, they are
Yeah,
not a sponsor or anything. Fidelity, if you want to sponsor Tech-Mex Podcast,
fidelidad. How is that? How you say fidelity in
Fi- fi-
Spanish?
Fidelidad, I guess.
I don't know. Hey, come on! Yeah, you haven't lost it yet. You need to do more Duolingo.
I guess.
I'm on my 22-day streak.
It's like you still have way to go, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, okay, and you mentioned this one also as well. We've got MicroStrategy, MSTR, but then also MSTY. Do you understand what's the difference between these two?
No, I'm looking at this one because this one is a yield. Basically, they're doing an option strategy to get some income from the ETF. So basically, what happens? We mentioned in one of the pods that with these instruments, because it has a lot of volatility, basically goes ups and downs in a very drastic way.
Hmm.
Traders are able to extract some value, and the way is because you're selling options. And basically, when you're selling the options, you can get the premium. I have been doing it just with the plain IBIT, as I mentioned it before. But if you don't want even to do that, you can just buy or I guess get this MSTY to get that yield without you having to get the options. And their yield is pretty good, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So, of course, we did that video that says, "How do you do options? How can you replace your income, your monthly income?" And we had said you can do it by trading options and with IBIT, right? You do it yourself. You can learn how to do it. So Master MSTR has a little bit more volatility. It's kind of a leveraged approach to IBIT. So you'll see some bigger swings. When Bitcoin goes up, Master MSTR will go up higher, right? But the opposite is also true. When it goes down, MSTR will go down lower. So it's got these bigger swings, but that does allow you to make more of these option plays, right? So you can do covered calls, or you could sell puts, right? Well, with MSTY, it seems like they're able to do the work for you, the legwork for you, right? We mentioned, yeah, you can go sell options and do this, but MSTI will let you do it, but they're doing it with MSTR just because there's more volatility. 89% is what they saw over the last year, from last April to this April. 89% is very, very big. So
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. The way they do it is because they're going to cap if it moonshots, if or when, I'll say that way, when Bitcoin moonshots, these leverage positions of MSTR, they will shoot up as well, but you're going to get capped a little bit. So like Bitcoin or IBIT may double, but MSTY, the underlying value, is not really going to double, but you will continue to get that monthly income. And what were we seeing with options, Mando? We were seeing what you can easily get maybe 20 to 40% in a year, something like that.
It's tough because we cannot calculate, but I can tell you I have been doing almost for 5-6 months, and I got 43%. So, which that's the reason why I keep saying, "Hey, this is a great opportunity." Right now, it's in the price has been moving in a range, which is perfect. That's what you want, and it doesn't have to be only Bitcoin. You can do the same strategy with another instrument. It has to have high volatility, and it has to kind of be in a range, and it's like chef keys.
Yeah. So imagine that with MSTR, you got to be higher volatility, but still within the range because the underlying instrument is going within a range. And then you just collect the income with MSTY. So for those of y'all that have tried doing the options and maybe don't have the time or don't want to try and learning, MSTY, they are going to get their cut, right? But still, it's better than not doing it, and you're able to get some steady income with this. So there's this YouTuber that I like to watch, British Hodl. I'm sure you guys have seen him. He cusses a lot. It's kind of fun. And basically he was saying, I think he said he put in 400K or so, and he was getting like 40K a month or something, which is it's a little bit crazy. That seems a little bit high, and maybe I'm misremembering the numbers. But he's saying that is something that you're able to achieve with it. He recently did a video, don't buy MSTY if you want income, but it was kind of more of a clickbait. I was like, what? Didn't you just tell us to do MSTY? But he says there's a few people that probably shouldn't be doing MSTY. One of them that I remember notably is like, look, if you're early on and you still don't have a big bag of Bitcoin, you're probably looking more so for growth rather than for the income, because that's really the decision that you're making. MSTY, it's focusing more on a steady yield or a steady dividend that they're going to be giving you every month. So that means that your growth will be capped because they're providing this dividend and this yield. So if you're looking more for growth, or meaning that you want to see your MSTR or your IBIT or your Bitcoin grow, maybe not for you. You need to focus more on growing your bag versus trying to get an income from it. So I think that's a good way of looking at it. I know for a lot of us that have been in Bitcoin for a long time, we have a pretty good bag already. We're just trying to figure out how to leverage that bag to generate, a monthly income essentially. So MSTY might be a good way to go. Again, we're not financial advisors, but it's something for you to look at. If you do have a suitable bag, you're not necessarily trying to grow it. You're just looking on a way to replace your monthly income in a suitable way. That might be a way to go.
Yeah, for sure. So last topic though, Tesla. All right. What we got?
We can't let a pod go by without mentioning some kind of bad news.
The David Downer Ramirez.
Okay. We've got Odometergate. Okay, Tesla Odometergate. They're like, what? There's another gate. There's another gate going on. Yes, it's true. I want to bring this to everybody's radar, and this is Tesla in general, not necessarily just Cybertruck here. There's some allegations right now. There's a lawsuit right now that the mileage that Teslas are showing are inflated, and you're like, okay, why would they do that? And the lawsuit is basically saying that Elon is inflating the mileage so that there's less warranty costs, So, and here's the thing, you're like, okay, it might be a little off, but what this person is claiming is that it was actually a very, very big amount. So they're saying they have a 20 mile, like, I guess to work and back home from work, 20 miles overall every day. But his vehicle is recording 70 miles a day, and he recorded this over some time. So it's not just a small amount. It looked to be kind of very, very apparent. And so apparently it turns out that Tesla uses a not like a normal vehicle, like a basic odometer that it's a mechanical thing. They actually use some kind of algorithm to estimate your mileage. And so this is where it has come up that it is estimating, or it's doing it in a favorable way to Tesla. It basically takes a look at a lot of different indicators and estimates what your mileage is, which apparently is something that is causing some of these vehicles. And I don't know if it's across the board or not. I recently crossed 7,777 miles on my Cybertruck. You might think, okay, it's almost a year. That's not very high. But when I think about it, I'm like, I barely drive it. How did I already rack up 7,000 miles? So now seeing this this news report come out, it makes me wonder. There's no way I put 7,000 miles on the Cybertruck already in under a year.
Yeah.
In 10 months or so. That seems a little bit high because I work from home. I really don't drive. How did I put 7,000 miles on there? So it really opens Tesla up to a little bit of this mistrust. People will start questioning it, especially right now where they're in the news in a kind of bad light. This is not helping. What do you think, man?
Not helping. And in my Cybertruck, I have almost 13,000. And I got it one month after you. So for me, probably if you are in 10 months, I'm probably in 9 months. So now it makes me wonder too, right?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll see what is the outcome of that. But yeah, not good news.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. And in this specific lawsuit, the reason why it came to the lawsuit is because this guy had a repair that came in right after he crossed his warranty number. I think it's 40,000 miles or something like that. 40 or 50,000 miles, a $10,000 suspension repair bill that would have been covered under warranty. So that's where this lawsuit came from. He says, well, actually, they were overestimating the mileage. And so, by the way, I did actually get some maintenance done on the Cybertruck this week. So it's the first time I actually took it back. Have you had your truck gone back yet for any maintenance or anything like that?
Nothing. Do you supposed to do it, or it will tell you, hey, you have to send it to maintenance?
No, it didn't tell me, but from the very start, like when I picked my truck up, I already knew I needed some things from Tesla. I waited 10 months to take it back. But the good thing is they covered everything. So I know there's been a lot of hits against Tesla's maybe customer service, but here everything went really well, actually. And I took it in for lots and lots of different things. I'll quickly list them real quickly. So I had my LED strip installed. So I got the Cyber Beast. Sure. There's an LED strip that comes with it that I'd never had installed. So now I got it installed. So I got the bright lights to blind people out there. I got the hubcaps installed. So I finally got my hubcaps. It does look pretty cool. It's not the new one. Well, they are the new ones, but there's a new versions of Cybertrucks that have got these like ugly looking hubcaps. Mine are the original ones that look a little bit nicer. I replaced one of my side view mirrors on the driver's side.
What are the hubs? The
hubcaps?
Uh-huh.
The Cybertruck hubcaps. Let me see if I can pull up. Here, let me show these. So basically, I mean, it's basically the ones that were shown on when the Cybertruck first came out. But it's basically
gotcha.
These.
Okay, got it.
It's done the standard ones. I finally got my set. I didn't have them to begin with. So I finally got that. I replaced a side view mirror. It clicked once or twice, like they determined it was loose, so they just replaced it. And then this is the tonneau cover seal. So I had this rubber grommet, or that covers the side, that got replaced. That thing flew off on the first day that I picked up my Cybertruck. A lot of people asked about it. Hey, did Tesla actually replace that? They did. It's just 10 months later. My fault, not their fault, right? I just never took it in. Now that I had a little bit more time this week, they actually did the recall. The recall actually, I think we said it was on that metal triangle piece. The recall wasn't on that piece. I don't think it was actually on a black plastic piece that's also on the tonneau cover. Is that where the buttons are? That black thing would fly off. They replaced that. So I
That's
got
when
that
the
replaced.
raccoon tried to open your Cybertruck.
Yeah, it's like try and peel it up like that. Let's see. They replaced the nut in one of the motor housings, so that got replaced. The button on the passenger side door, it didn't click. It was like very mushy. They replaced that. They fixed that. They adjusted my driver's side door because it was a little bit uneven or out of place a little bit, so they adjusted it for me. They actually gave me a Model X as a loaner. I don't think I could drive the Model X after having the Cybertruck. It's a very, very
It's the different
big
drive.
difference. And it took them about 3 days to do all in all. So they did a lot of work, all under warranty, took care of the truck, looks good as new. Very, very nice. Hopefully this will last me for another year before I need to take it back for anything else. But the experience was pretty smooth. Dropped it off in the morning, talked to the advisor. They got me the loaner. And by the way, I hear loaners are kind of hard to come by. They don't always provide them, but maybe because I have a Cyber Beast, right? And I had a lot of things. They went ahead and got me a loaner.
They knew that it would take a while.
Experience.
When they supposed to return it?
I already got it back. So I dropped it off on Tuesday morning. I got it back on Thursday evening, I think it was.
Not bad.
So,
Not bad.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. And the pickup experience is kind of fun. You just kind of show up and take your truck.
That's kind of weird.
I went like at 9:00 at night. It was like, oh crap. It's like ICE is going to show up and be like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, okay, no.
This Mexican is trying to steal
what is he doing? Yeah, so good experience all in all. But there's a big difference between driving the Model X, which is their bigger SUV, right? And the Cybertruck. And even on the full self-driving, the Model X doesn't feel as secure or as stable as a Cybertruck. The Cybertruck feels planted. Obviously, it's very, very heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
But it feels planted to the ground. Like in the Model X, you can feel a little bit of a shimmy, like where it was trying to decide, or it just was not. Did not feel. Now it was a few years old, so maybe that had something to do with it. But the Cybertruck feels like way nicer than that Model X. I thought so.
How the hip is called then when you're supposed to be like on Earth, like earthed, like
you're grounded.
Grounded.
Yeah, I felt grounded. It was very nice. So. Anyways, just thought I'd share my experience. These were the folks over at the Westheimer off in West Houston. It's a different place than where I picked it up from. But they did a great job. No complaints there. I got my truck back in record time, I think, for the amount of things that they had to do to it. So pretty cool.
It's good, man.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's all we've got for today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the episode. I just want to remind y'all to like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. It's very important for us. We've got 420 subscribers.
You like that.
And you like that.
Yeah, man.
we're still trying to keep it growing. So we appreciate everything that y'all can do. We also want to thank our sponsors. They do a good job in giving us the toys, keep our Cybertrucks nice and fresh. So if y'all are interested in accessories, check out our notes. We do have links to several sponsors that we've got with us. But I think that's all we've got for today. Dale.
Peace.